great guests who are joining us, and I'm a little bit late, and I apologize to them. But we've been talking about this, teasing this all week, that there's this amazing organization called Diveheart. And so right now we're going to be joined by Jim Elliott is going to be joining us, and Diveheart Executive Director Tina Marie Hernandez is joining us. And I'm going to say about Jim that he apparently had a successful career in the media business before he launched Diveheart in, I don't have which year, I thought I did. But anyway, it is a 501c3. It helps build confidence and independence in children, veterans, and others with disabilities through zero gravity and scuba therapy. Diveheart seeks to instill the can-do spirit in its participants. Diveheart doesn't discriminate when it comes to working with people with disabilities and serves cognitively and physically impaired individuals worldwide. Since 2001, Elliott, who is a volunteer with no salary, has initiated scuba therapy research with university medical centers around the country, including the first study on autism and scuba therapy and the world's most innovative adaptive scuba training program for instructors, dive buddies, and adaptive divers. He also lectures and trains dive professionals in the business of adaptive scuba. And now, Tina Marie Hernandez, who is the executive director, she grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. She's always had a love of learning and was the first in her family to attend and graduate college. Congratulations, Tina Marie. She has always found a way to give back, be it through candy striping, coaching softball, teaching swim lessons to people with disabilities, or teaching Sunday school. When asked what drew her to Diveheart, Tina Marie responded, "I grew up with a cousin who lived his life with both physical and cognitive challenges, but Joey didn't let that hold him back, and I just know he would have loved scuba had he known about Diveheart." So let's welcome Jim and Tina Marie to the show. I can't wait to talk to them about this amazing organization. Thank you for your patience. It has been a bumpy week. So, so thrilled that you guys are here. I've been talking about your amazing program. I want to hear from you guys. Tell us all we need to know about Diveheart, everything from start to finish.
So Diveheart started in 2001. We're 22 years old this April. And you encapsulated it well early, when you were introducing us. We work for people with disabilities, and we want to show them we want to highlight the abilities they do have, and we want to make them proud of themselves and feel more independent. I think in the piece that you saw with Chris, she talked about that. Her parents talked about what a change they saw in becoming more independent and coming on this trip and doing stuff for herself that they never thought she was going to do.
Yeah, I mean, amazing and inspirational and truly fabulous. I'm giving you guys your own microphone. That's what's happening right now. Okay. But, so amazing to hear her talk about what it was doing for her, and then to hear her parents talk about how, they were 2 days into a trip and the growth that they had seen just in the 2 days, and the independence and in that motivation, that she was interested in getting herself ready the night before, instead of having to be gotten ready in the morning, which I love. The dad said, "I know this doesn't seem like a big deal to other people, but we all get it. We all totally get it." Really amazing. So Jim, you started this. What made you think that this was going to be what it is?
I know. I didn't think it was going to be what it is, actually. I thought it was going to be I had been guided and taught blind skiers for decades. My oldest daughter's blind. And so I saw skiing help people a lot. But I'd been diving since I was a journalism major in college. And I knew that diving intuitively, you're in zero gravity. It's an amazing feeling. And I knew that if we got people out of wheelchairs and got them in the water, for example, that would help them with range of motion and other physiological benefits, not thinking that with autism, the ambient pressure and increase there helps, kind of like a weighted blanket or a pressure vest does. And then being underwater helps eliminate surface triggers and distractions. So now it's kind of a little bit like a sensory deprivation room. helps them focus, and the cool factor is off the charts. So someone with autism now they self-identify as a diver. You know what I mean? And everybody in the world's got to know they're divers, which is really cool. And they before we had digital stuff, kids would carry around little picture books of them diving and go into the doctor's office, and people had to see it every single time they went in. It's just like, oh, look, I'm a diver. So it's been very cool watching the progression of individuals with physical and cognitive different abilities embrace scuba as not only a recreational activity, but as a therapy. It's been very cool.
Amazing. And one of the things the parents brought up is that there's a whole social component to this too. That to see that their kids, kids I say, but they're a lot of times adults, interacting with other people on the boat, with the other divers, with the crew on the boat, with confidence and being interested and them being interested in their kids, how amazing that is. I love that the dad said she's found her tribe.
Yes, when he shared that idea, that thought on a trip, it really hit me. And I think that there's a lot. What's nice is they're coming into a safe space to begin with, but the acceptance that they receive, that hopefully everyone who gets involved with us receives, is a changing factor for them. So that, people who might not be accepted all the time into the various groups that they interact with, one of our goals is to have them feel accepted. And that was what the dad was sharing. And that's what we experience with a lot of people who do our programs. And we want that to happen. And we hope it happens every time.
So talk to us a little bit about how this works, because there's going to be people who are going to watch this today and in the coming days and in the next couple of years, and they're going to go, oh my gosh, maybe this is a thing for me or my kiddo. Where do they start? How does this progress? Do you have to live in a certain area of the world? What needs to happen?
Well, we hope that as we continue to grow, you don't have to, live in any particular part of the world. Right now, our headquarters is out of the Chicagoland area. We have a number of groups that are throughout the U.S. And the first step would be, contact us at info@diveheart.org. And then we could hopefully either connect you with a group that's already in existence, or we can help you find a group that could get you into a pool. Pools are where the majority of our work is done and where we introduce people to diving. And then once you've tried it in the pool, if you feel like you want to go on one of these trips, if that is what your next goal is, then we can help you get certified as an adaptive diver, and then come on one of our trips. And we work with both verbal and nonverbal people on the spectrum, right? We've had families. What's really cool is we'll have families get involved, and not only does the adaptive diver get certified, but the brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers, or maybe a really close friend, gets certified, and then they can go on these types of trips by themselves or with us.
Yeah. And you guys always have a buddy when you have an adaptive diver diving. There's always a buddy. Talk a little bit about who those people are and what their role is, how that works.
Well, we train instructors and dive buddies all over the world to work with individuals with different types of abilities. And when someone comes to us, we typically will have minimally 2 buddies with the individual, and each of the adaptive dive buddies or instructors are very, very highly trained, and it's sensitive training. It's learning how to deal with individuals with different types of cognitive abilities, somebody with PTSD or ALS or autism or traumatic brain injury, and try to discover the nuance between those. And we don't try to make anybody a doctor or a therapist, but we do want them to be sensitive and identify the abilities the individual has and work with those abilities, try to understand what the triggers might be. This is where parents and caregivers come in handy, where we can kind of get a download from them. We work with individuals that are nonverbal with autism, and sometimes there's hand signals that need to be used, and maybe that's only a parent or a caregiver that communicate in that way. So we'll have that per individual in the water with their child, or and then we'll have someone else in the water, or two people in the water, to help with the safety aspects of the diving, because you are underwater,
Yeah.
and you are on life support in zero gravity. So it's very forgiving, very cool, but it's also something that it's serious fun, we call it.
I like that.
Right.
Serious fun.
And one of the standards in diving is that you're usually diving with a buddy anyway. So
Yeah.
it's nothing extra special in that, because you always need a buddy in the water. I need a buddy. He needs a buddy. That's how diving works. One of the things that we've learned from the people that we've worked with on the autism spectrum is that sometimes two people is just too much. So we've we've made notes for ourselves. So if we're working with someone for the first time, you might still have two people that are there to assist, but only one person is the person giving direction and standing in front of them and getting to know them. One of the other things that we've learned is that, sometimes change throws people off. So what we always make sure we're doing is we make, at every event we have, people have this shirt on. The helpers have this shirt on. And so what we do is we make it so that the people that we work with who might be on the autism spectrum, if they don't really like having someone new every time, we always make sure they have a repeat person and then maybe another new person that they meet every time they come back to the pool. That way, they get a comfort level with the people who wear the shirt. And they know that the people who have this shirt on are people that are going to be trustworthy and someone that they can work with. And it helps expand who they can work with at Diveheart, and it helps us, because if the person they were working with that, they love and cherish and stuff, maybe they couldn't make the event, but we can still get the person in the water. So it really helps us on all ends.
There are tools we use that we've introduced to the industry, and for example, a full face mask. So if an individual can't hold or won't hold a regulator in their mouth, we use a full face mask, and that allows, that way water won't get on their face at all. So it's an amazing tool. It allows a lot of people with a lot of different types of disabilities to dive. And for your audience, I would say that a really easy way to find out what we do, and I believe, being a media guy, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
If you went to our YouTube channel and clicked on playlist, you would get all the medical stories and military stories and the fun stories and the major features and documentaries. And parents can sit down and share that with their children and say, hey, look, do you think this is something you might want to do? And then we train instructors all over the world. So, for example, if you were going down to the Keys, we have people in the Keys that we could connect you with, where now they could take you in a pool or they could take you on a dive and give you that experience while you're on vacation or something like that.
Well, you just made Joannie's dreams come true, because she had written in and said, does this work if we're on vacation and want to dive? Amazing. Talk to us a little bit about, is there an age range that kids should be a certain age range to start to try this?
We start at 10 years old,
Okay.
Mainly because of the squirrel factor. Younger kids, getting them into gear that fits them, and then also there are some, the number one rule in diving is you can't hold your breath. So with anyone that we're working with, when we get them first in the pool, is we need to make sure that we know that person isn't going to hold their breath while they're underwater.
Okay.
Even when you're in shallow water, it is still the number one rule. So
which is the opposite rule when you're sticking your head underwater when you're swimming, which might be hard. I could see where that would be confusing. I would probably have a hard time with this. Do we also need to be concerned about if kids have had ear infections? Is this maybe not the best thing for them? Or is there any kind of an ear thing that we should be?
Well, what we do is we ask every person who wants to get in the water with us to talk with their medical, person, the doctor that they work with that knows them the best, not just any doctor, but the person that knows them the best, knows their condition. And there's a paperwork that they fill out to make sure that it's a safe activity for them.
Okay.
There are conditions that maybe would keep them from diving that we wouldn't know about, that they might not even know about,
Okay.
that the doctor would.
Okay.
One of the conditions I know, like if someone is prone to having seizures or is on seizure medication, we cannot get them into the water. It's too dangerous.
All right. At this time, maybe in the future.
On the issue of ears, though, we work with an organization called Divers Alert Network, and it's physicians that are on call 24/7 for any kind of a medical question that you have. And they're dive physicians, so they're not just an ENT that can help you with your ear issue, but they understand the concepts of diving and pressure and what's involved. So we can, Divers Alert Network, it's called DAN,
Okay.
and we can turn people on to that organization, and they can say, hey, Johnny has tubes in his ears. Is that something that he can dive with?
Right.
They do also have masks where there's a tube that goes from the enclosed area of the mask in the nose. The tube goes to the ear, and then there's a cup over the ear so it doesn't get water on the ear. So there are tools out there that people can use that have ear issues that can be, employed as well.
I love this. And so how often do you guys plan a trip to go someplace?
We take between 4 and 6 trips a year.
Okay.
So typically we're going in the spring, summer, fall, winter, and then we throw some different locations in, and we're constantly trying to find new places that we can go and expand the world of adaptive diving for people.
When COVID hit, we canceled 14 trips and 200 pool programs around the country. And the difference between the pool programs we do for free, and then the trips, we try to figure out how to jointly fundraise on those trips. So, for example, if you had a child and you wanted to come on a trip, or you wanted to come and learn to be a buddy, we treat our trips just like a church mission trip. So if you went to Ecuador to put a roof on a school, for example, with your church, you would go down and you would pay your way, get down there, pay your way, and we negotiate the best price we can with the dive operator in the resort. And then you go, wow, Jim, I can come up with 80% of this on my own and locally fundraising in my neighborhood. But can you help? And then we reach back and look at grants we have and scholarships and ways that we can jointly fundraise. Facebook is a great example. They don't charge fees. And we say, set up a Facebook fundraiser for Diveheart, and we'll earmark that for you. And then what you do is you just go out and share it. We'll share it with all our people. And now, Johnny, who's on the spectrum, can come on that trip with his family, right? So it's kind of a creative way that we work together with people that want to participate and figure out how to get them on a trip.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And did I hear you just say that the pool program is free?
Mm-hmm. Pool programs are always free, and they can come as many times as they want.
That's crazy. So give us the website again, because now everybody wants to find those 20 programs around the country that you got going on. Tell us what your website is.
It's diveheart.org, www.diveheart.org.
There it is, right on the t-shirt, you guys, diveheart.org. I also noticed, Jim, you're a media guy. I noticed that the footage, anytime you can go underwater with a good camera, it's a good time, right? There's some amazing footage that you guys have. And you just said something about a documentary. Have you guys done a documentary?
We've had a couple done, actually. There's a couple different ways to see what we've done media-wise. One is at diveheart.org. You can click on the media kit. Now, the media kit, the study we did with Midwestern University on autism and SCUBA therapy, that's in the media kit, in the middle, in the medical component. There, we have military, medical stories, and the media kit. But then also going to the YouTube channel and clicking on a playlist will give you different categories. If you want to, look at medical, you want to look at military, you want to look at documentaries. Under major features and documentaries, though, on our playlist, we do have almost everything we've done. The latest documentary called Adapting to Dive, when you go to diveheart.org, it pops right up. You can get to it on Amazon or on Tubi TV through the website, or just Google it and find it right away. But that is not in our media kit or our playlist now, because it's available on Amazon still, and the filmmaker has to make that's his royalty. But has won 9 International Film Festival awards since it began, and on that trip we do have individuals on the spectrum. And then there's another piece that is on BYU TV. It's called Random Acts. It's a TV show where we took a individual who was a quadriplegic. He was a national motivational speaker, and we took him on a shark dive in the Bahamas.
Wow.
So those are 2 pieces that haven't quite made our playlist yet, but they are out there. And we were happy. Go to diveheart.org, send something to info, and say, hey, Jim, this is my condition. I have ALS. I have a traumatic brain injury. I have spinal cord injury. In addition to I'm on the spectrum, whatever. Send that to us, and we'll cherry pick some of these stories and send you stuff that'll resonate with you and your family.
Okay. Joannie's all over this. She's in the Philly area. Do you have a program anywhere near Philadelphia?
We do not have a program in Philadelphia, but we have an awesome ambassador out of Philadelphia.
All right. Well, we're going to have to hook her up.
He's been on a number of trips with us. His name is Louis Bernucci, and he's on the spectrum, and he is just an amazing ambassador.
He dives in the aquarium there in Philadelphia.
Not in Philadelphia.
No?
In New Jersey.
New
He
Jersey,
has to travel.
Oh, he travels? So if he was in Philadelphia, where did he first go to do your pool program?
He actually worked with a different instructor so that he actually came to us already scuba certified.
Okay.
But he needed to work with an instructor to kind of do a little refresh. And then he came on one of our trips and dove with us in Cozumel. So I think he's been on 3 trips now.
I think I saw the video with him. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Louis,
Yes. Absolutely amazing. Well, we just so appreciate the work that you guys are doing. So amazing. I hope that everybody will visit diveheart.org, whether you are a person on the spectrum that you want to do this, or a differently abled person and you want to, because I saw you guys take people in wheelchairs. You mentioned being a paraplegic, all different kinds of things. But also, we're always looking for charities that need donations. What a great thing to donate to. If you guys have extra money in the couch cushions that you don't have earmarked, donate it to Diveheart and help somebody to be able to have one of these experiences. It's really amazing. I want to thank you guys for being with us. Is there anything else that we left out that you need to let the folks at home know?
No, we're just really excited about some of the things that are going on. Mayo Clinic has asked us to go with them and present to their doctors at a conference. And we said, well, where's the conference? And they said, Cozumel, Mexico. So in May, that's our next trip out of the country. And we'll be going there and bringing our filmmaker who's going to help us capture some great footage from the doctors about their perspective on scuba therapy and their particular discipline in the medical field. So
amazing.
We're doing that, all the time.
Yeah, I think I just want to leave everyone with, you're invited. You're invited to come and learn more about us, to talk with us, to become a diver if that's what you want, and that's what we can help you with. You're invited.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your patience too. It's been one of the wonkiest weeks here and I've been in and out, not feeling well. So I appreciate your patience. I'm so glad we connected and got you on.
Yeah, thank you. Please feel better.
I'm working on it. Minute by minute.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.